about you. I'd like to, except lying makes my nose grow.
You've made Slappy very unhappy.
If there was any justice, they
What
would
old Slappy
walk
tells
around
you to
and
do
put him in a
something.
case.
You better do it.
So what's the plan, friend? Terrorize the locals? Destroy the town?
Let's get started.
Gosh, that's so cool.
This is our 90s bedroom. We just got to put mattresses on the bed. Got like New Kids on the Block and whatever else you want to. Yeah, cassette player. Roger Rabbit. Yeah, so this will be Lenny Chris's bedroom, and our two friends will sit there at the foot of Chris's bed, obviously, because she wakes up to see them every night. So yeah, we're getting it all sorted, all prepared, ready for shooting in 2 months. So, oh man,
that's so cool.
Yeah, putting a lot of time,
Oh yeah,
a lot of money, a lot of effort into this. So yeah, we want to make it. I guess we'll talk about it when we.
yeah. Before we get started, though, I have two funny things to say that I think you might like. So,
Okay.
whenever I was first really getting into Goosebumps, of course I watched you because search up Goosebumps in 2015. You posted like 8 videos a day sometime.
Yeah.
And
that was
it got taken down off my channel, thankfully. But on my first YouTube channel, there's a video of like little me with my 2 Goosebumps books in my cheap Slappy, and I'm like shirtless in the video, and the iPad's down here, and I'm looking at the camera the whole time, and I'm saying, "This is for Goosebumps Aussie fan. This is my collection," and it's like a 2-minute long video.
Oh man, hey, that I love that. Honestly, I mean, I had a lot of people making videos like where they would talk about me. Like Michael Goosebumps fan was one.
Yeah.
Zach Baby TV back in the day. Isaiah made videos like, and then there was this one channel that was dedicated to just doing like fan art of Slappy, and Mr. Wood, funny enough, was also part of the fan art. And I remember like I did a video, I think it was about the movie, and I was talking about the different monsters in the movie, and then I remember I was like, oh, what monsters will be in the sequel? And then I gave my list of what I think should be in the sequel, even though in the end it was pretty much no different monsters.
Yeah.
They were just Halloween
decorations.
It was less. And I remember then they made a video being like, sorry, too bad, Aussie fan. Like, because none of what I selected was in the movie. So yeah, it was a bit disappointing, unfortunately.
And then second thing, after Curse City Con, since my mom had met you, I would bring up like, oh, the Goosebumps crew in this episode, they did this, and that. And then when you announced the fan film, I've just been pouring all this onto her. And with me getting closer to Avery, a joke started between us. And she said, I'm going to ship you to Avery, and he's going to take you to Australia to film the movie.
Honestly, man, like, more help is needed. Like, I mean, well,
hey,
Avery
I'd be
is like,
to it.
Dude, like, you could afford to fly over here. Like, I would always take the help. I mean, Avery, he's of course coming over to do all the puppetry and do the voice on set, which will make things a lot easier. But then we have these 2 other puppeteers from Larrikin's Puppets, who are about 2 hours north of me, who are going to basically be his like right hand while on set, and they've got a lot of the equipment like dollies and stuff, so we can get all the moving shots of Mr. Wood, make it look really cool. Because I don't speak ventriloquism. I don't really know, the ins and outs of it, but
Oh
all
yeah.
I know is that they've got all the equipment that, they want to use, and Avery has, expressed the interest there. And yeah, so it's going to be awesome once we get all that, and then we can run some tests, and we'll screen test with Mr. Wood. And I've got like a little stunt double who's going to just do a couple little shots, but not
Yeah.
many. It's going to be like, so primarily there's going to be like a shot, let's say when the girls are holding down Mr. Wood, like when they're trying to stop from getting away. Uh, we're going to get like a shot of his legs like kicking in the air, for instance, and it'll be like my nephew who's like the same exact height, and we got a second outfit made like by the
Wow.
seamstress. That's an exact
Yeah.
replica outfit. So to the audience, they won't have a clue.
Oh
They'll
yeah.
just go, "How did they do that?" I'm like, it. So it's a little person who is my
Yeah.
nephew. So yeah, so we can get some of those like really nice shots, like more intricate stuff,
Yeah.
to make it look really awesome. But like I said, they're gonna have dollies and things, so we can make it
Oh
look
yeah.
like Mr. was running and all that. So yeah, it's gonna be honestly the amount of effort and time that we put into this movie is insane. We're so deep in it now. We have pretty much all our locations set. So like the bedroom, obviously,
Yeah.
and we've got like the house as well, which we're going to shoot all the other scenes inside, outside. We have the spring concert scene up on stage, which we're shooting at an actual school gym. So
That's cool.
that's going to be really cool. They were all open to that, and I don't know if you remember in the book, but there is one scene at school as well, like like in the playground where like Lindy's showing off Slappy.
Yeah.
So they said we can also shoot that at the school too. So yeah, and we have a construction site which we're going to use for the when the girls go next door
That's
to
just
and they
that's
find
so
Slappy like
cool.
in a trash. So we're doing the whole thing, man. Like we're doing the book like pretty
Yeah.
accurately, and we're just giving the fans something that they've never had before, and like they've never made the original. I attempted it when I was like 15,
Yeah. I
16,
watched that
and it
one.
was nothing like the book, but I tried at a young age. But now we have all the proper ingredients. We got the right
Yeah.
crew. The dummies have been made from scratch. We got the locations, and we followed the book very closely. Even like minor characters from the book will be in the film. So like you've
Yeah.
got the Marshall kids down the road that are in like I think one page. Like I think is literally all they appear in. So and even they're in it. So yeah, we've left nothing out. We're just giving the fans exactly what they want. So
I've got
yeah,
to give you
that'll be fun.
props for that because I've tried to make a fan show film of some capacity ever since I got back into
Yeah,
Goosebumps. And especially
yeah.
working how I did it with friends, which was not the go-to because
Hmm.
while it was a good time, we didn't get anything done. And
Yeah. Oh, well.
it was me doing Slappy, playing a character, writing, editing,
Trying to do it all.
and then one of my friends recorded, and then one brought pizza, and that was our
One
crew.
brought the food. Catering.
Yeah.
You had someone catering. That's important. Got to feed your
Uh-huh.
crew. Like,
But
that's one thing too. We've got catering
yeah,
but we've got a full crew. We've got makeup, we've got wardrobe, we've got sound, we've got cinematographers, we've got producers. Like we have a full crew of people like behind this, and I guess the way I was looking at it is like, how do we do this? Because obviously we can't profit off it and things like that because
oh
we are
yeah,
making Goosebumps things. We have to do it entirely free, upload it to YouTube for free, whatever. And I was like, okay, how do we do this, with no money? And I was like, well, the money has to come out of my own pocket. We had some contributions, but uh, I was like, how do we get a crew and not pay them? So we went through a university. We got a bunch of students. So that's how we got our crew.
yeah,
And yeah, they're all really excited. So I'll give you one quick little teaser. So I just picked up these big giant water jugs because we're going to be shooting out fake vomit,
yeah.
obviously, on the entire front row of crowd. And yeah, so the guy that's putting it together, he's requested exactly what he needed for that scene. So we all know what that scene is. Uh, it's the infamous spring concert scene. So we're going all out with that. There's going to be vomit going everywhere, flying out everywhere. People are going to get hit with it. People are going to be vomiting on each other. Like, oh, it's yeah, we're giving the fans the
Yeah.
ultimate dream Goosebumps film, like, but this time it's another dummy that's going to be taking center stage, so that'll be interesting. Never been done, so, but of course Slappy does still make an appearance, so
Yeah.
because he's my boy, I love Slappy, so like that was the whole idea. But and a lot of people were saying, like, because when we did the Mr. Wood doll, they were like, what are you going to do about Slappy? Like, and originally we were going to use the Trick or Treat Studios one, but as soon as I saw it, like in real life, I was like, okay, it looks kind of cool, but if you sit him next to Mr. Wood with the quality and the craftsmanship that's been made, he's going to look very cheap
Yeah.
compared to Mr. Wood. And I said, it's just not fair, especially since it is Slappy. All right. So we decided, no, we had to have him also made from scratch as well. And I said to Cesar Ramirez that he has to be the book version, like the description. So he needs to have like blue eyes, chip on lip, brown hair, and that's the thing. Trick or Treat Studios one had like black painted hair, and I was kind of like, I would have to modify it too if I did buy it. And also, we need the moving eyes. So, and this one also
Yeah.
has moving eyebrows. Like it's a full
That is a
operational
that
dummy.
is an awesome looking puppet. Just when I saw that,
Mhm.
when I saw both of them the first time, just that's that's so cool. And
Yeah. No, we're
especially
really
seeing
excited. And
seeing
yeah.
Caesar's posts from like mold to finished was that's so cool.
Hmm. Oh yeah, so exciting, right? Like
Yes.
I just remember seeing the first 3D mold, the 3D rendering of it, and I remember
Yeah.
thinking like, whoa, if it looks like that, and then yeah, it looks pretty much exactly as it did on there. And then I remember thinking like, I know they mentioned how like Slappy Mr. Wood is supposed to kind of look alike, but
Yeah.
like he has red hair and hair. But I'm like, when you look at because here's the thing, we wanted Mr. Wood to have some kind of like a resemblance to Slappy, but then I went, but then there's also the Topps trading cards, which is the only kind of artwork we got of him from the 90s. And I feel like we need to kind of stay true to that because at least that will please the fans and they'll give it sort of what they want. Because they've done Mr. Wood in other rent, like they did the Slappy's Tales of Horror graphic novel, and you got Mr. Wood in there. But I'm like, he's not even wearing the right shirt in that. It's not the checkered flannelly
He's like
shirt,
wearing a sweater.
And I remember thinking, he's wearing a sweater, and I'm like, that's not the design we're going with. Definitely not. And I know they did also even in the Horrorland game. I don't know if you remember on the website, the Enter Horrorland, there was like a boxing thing, and there was
Yeah.
literally Mr. Wood, and he had the red shirt, but it still wasn't the checkered as it describes in the book. So I thought the Topps trading card is the one. So
Yeah.
we went with that design, yeah, for Mr. Wood.
And
And Slappy, obviously. Yeah.
I love Trick or Treat Studios, but I don't really like that puppet. There's something
Yeah,
off about it. I think it's maybe
yeah,
too glossy or something.
yeah. It's also like I understand too that they make it as like a I wouldn't say it's mass produced, but
Yeah.
they make so many of them, right?
Yeah.
So they can't make them to the quality of like what Caesar did, because if they did, they'd have to charge, 1,000, 1,200.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't know what they would charge for it, but it'd be pretty expensive.
Oh yeah.
But there was just things with it that, yeah, it looked off, like you said.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the first sort of video that they posted of it and the photos, which obviously would have been the prototype. It looked great. Like it looked really good. And then I remember seeing when people actually started like noticing it at like cons and things like that. And then when the first like wave of them kind of went out to the fandom, and they finally got theirs in the mail. I'm looking at it, I'm going, huh, I don't want to use that in my movie.
Yeah.
Like, I immediately was like, I don't want to use it. I'm just gonna have to fork out some extra money, and
Yeah.
Slappy needs to also have his own unique original look. But also, I said I want Tim Jacobus's art, but I want the little changes that the book describes. And of course, that was the blue. It says like piercing blue eyes, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
I think he did that. Gave him the piercing blue eyes, and also I remember thinking like, why is it so hard to just give him brown painted hair? Like they gave him black hair. I'm like, why? And then I think someone actually made a comment about that, and they said that's the hair color it's meant to be. But then they were like, no, it's not. It's clearly brown. Like it looks black on the cover of Nine Living Dummy 2. It does look darker, but
Yeah.
that's just I think that's just the way that Tim, to match with the room, because obviously it had the
Yeah.
florally pink and greens. I think he gave him a little more of a darker look to really stand out in that room. But no, his hair color is definitely brown. So I was like, I think we're gonna get him made
And
from scratch.
Tim himself, he said this at Curse City, I'm pretty sure. Someone asked him why his Slappy designs were inconsistent, and he was just like, that's how I painted them.
He's like, he got bored. He needed to change it up a little bit, right? Like give him something different. Because I know Sean always mentions about how he hates the Slappy's Nightmare Slappy, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, but like that one's kind of iconic to me in a way.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I remember that book taking so long for me to find, and there's some. It's weird. It's like he looks kind of strange on the cover, but it's somehow also still iconic.
Yeah.
The cover art. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to explain
I
it.
think to me, because of course, I grew up with this Slappy, and he was just creepy to me. And
Yeah.
seeing Slappy with a scared expression, and as a kid not reading the book, I was like, "What's scaring Slappy? What's what's his nightmare? He's my nightmare."
What's his nightmare about? Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. Like, but Slappy, he's the Goosebump mascot now. Like, you
Yeah,
know, I feel like at the moment they're kind of taking a little bit of a backseat on him in a lot of the media. Like they're starting to not include him as much as they used to, and because there's some fans that say, oh, he's used too much and everything. And I'm like, you know what though? Honestly, just because he's used so much now does not change my opinion on him because I grew up in the 90s of Goosebumps, and back then he wasn't the mascot. It was Curly. He was on everything. Slappy was just what I call he was one of the bros, one of the crew, right? Like there
yeah,
was Cuddles and the horror and the mummy and Slappy, like so that's how I kind of looked at it, and he's always been my favorite. So I tell any Goosebumps fan, like, if someone tries to tell you, oh, Slappy, he's overused, I just say, you know what, who cares? Like, you like what you like, and
yeah,
Slappy, he is the mascot of Goosebumps. Like that's how I look at him, and he's my all time favorite. So it'll never change. I'll always love him. Even though I'm making a movie where he's not the central villain, which does feel kind of weird. I must admit, like reading the script, I'm like, it feels weird that it's not Slappy doing all these things.
yeah,
Because so used to it. And it's Mr. Wood. Like Slappy's just chilling on the chair in the background in half these things, or under Lindy's arm. you know. Um, so it is kind of weird. But yeah, no, I absolutely just love him, and my opinion won't change on that. He's always been my favorite. So I say to every Slappy fan, don't listen to the haters. Okay. All right. You like what you want. It's your life, you know? And
yeah.
to me, yep, Slappy's always going to be my
It's
favorite. It'll never change.
what I told Avery whenever I first heard the voice for Mr. Wood. It signifies like what I feel. Mr. Wood is much more act without thinking, while Slappy's this cunning villain sitting in the back in a chair, stroking a cat,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
spin around.
Planning. He's
Yeah.
planning stuff. He's
He's
plotting.
very,
Slappy's
very
plotting all the
smart.
time. Yeah. Mr. Wood just goes
He
crazy.
just
So
does
like
whatever
when
he
Avery did the
wants.
voice, yeah, like so when Avery did the voice, like, what time does the blimp go up? I was like, that is exactly how I imagine Mr.
Uh-huh.
Wood being, just so angry and just like I hate everybody, while Slappy's just like he's gonna get himself killed. Like by a steamroller of all things, which another thing, we are doing that. He will be hit by a steamroller. Not the actual puppet. We have a stunt head. So
Yeah.
yeah, because could you imagine if like we actually crushed the doll like on the last day of shooting and it like for some reason, oh, we forgot to take the lens cap off. I'd be like, no. So when we shoot that scene, it'll be very much okay, camera is rolling, right?
Yeah.
Sound is going good. Because even
Make
though it's the
sure
stunt head, it's like
everything.
we have one stunt head, we don't have a reserve. So make sure the camera is set up. And when he crushes over it, it's like, dude, you got one take. So no pressure at all to the guy driving the steamroller. Okay. No pressure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's Slappy, yeah. Like we said, he's my all-time favorite. It'll never change, and it's funny, like he really has become the mascot in the way that, when I talk to people that don't really know Goosebumps, they're not they're not fans, but they've heard of it. Like, so I'll say, hey, like I collect Goosebumps. I love Goosebumps. And they go,
Yeah.
oh, Goosebumps. Oh, the dummy, that ventriloquist dummy. Like that's how they remember it. Like even if they don't really know it. And yeah, so that's how I look at it anyway.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. I had it and then I lost it. Oh, from CurcityCon. I
Mm-hmm.
was it was like the day before I'd actually like told my friends at school, "Oh, I'm going to a convention." And they're like, "Oh, for like comics or something?" I said, "No, Goosebumps." And they said, "Like the books, like R.L. Stein?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's cool. That's awesome."
They couldn't believe there was like a convention that was basically
Yeah.
just Goosebumps. Because in a way, Curse City Con was primarily Goosebumps.
Yeah.
You know, you look at all the people that were there. I mean, Stein, Tim, Craig. I mean, it would have been awesome to get Mark Nagata because then you would have had all three of
Oh
the
yeah.
original artists. And then if somehow if magically we got Brandon Dorman too, it'd be like, oh, now we've really just got them all. Or Jim Thiessen who did like Stare to the Basement. Like you did one cover art, but it's so iconic. So it's
Yeah.
like, could you imagine just having all of them there? But then you had Avery, and then obviously you had Jack Lenz, doing the music, and it's crazy to me. Like for the first time ever, all three of them were in a room, and that's
Oh
never
yeah.
been done. Like we had Stein, Tim, and Jack, like original artist, music, and illustrator just together for the first time. Like, so seeing those three up on stage was like, wow, this has just never
Yeah. That
never
was
happened. Why has it taken this long? So yeah, it was an
I'm
exciting event, very
that
much.
was so cool. Just that whole weekend. I
Yeah, the
remember,
real Goosebumps con.
oh yeah, whenever you and it was one of the crew episodes, and I think somebody was talking about wanting to go home, and then you were like, I could stay here forever and be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt because
Hmm.
those couple of days were just so cool. It's
Yeah.
just interacting with all these people who I've seen
Yeah.
online and heard the voice of many times, and like talking to them and getting along with them too was just that was so cool.
It was it was so much fun, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's something that like I'll never forget, and I guess my highlight of that whole weekend was when I was talking with Tim and because Tim's a buddy of ours now, like we've
yeah.
spoken to him that many times. He's such a cool guy. I was just chatting with Tim, like having a good talk, and then this hand on my shoulder, and I was like, oh, and I turned around, and it was Stein. Like it was Stein. Like he just finished at his table. I
Yeah.
think he was coming over to see Tim, but then he saw me, and I did mention to him that I would show him an updated photo of my collection. So he kind of put his hand on my shoulder. He was like, Bjorn, that was my highlight because it was like you just called me by name.
Yeah.
You remembered my name. You called me by name, and he said, "Oh, you didn't show me your collection." And I was like, "Oh." And then Tim just kind of looked at me and was like, "Oh, like better show God," because he called him God. He's like, "You better show him your you better
Show 'em
show
your
him your
offering.
collection, you know, like." And I was like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I remember it was taking me a while to scroll to like the most recent photo, and I was like standing there awkwardly with Stein like over my shoulder, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting there, it's coming up, like, and yeah, then I had this just one-on-one with him for like at least 10, 15 minutes because Tim was busy with people, and people were walking past. Like Nick looked over at me and was like, "Oh, Bjorn's talking with Bob, like Stein, okay,"
Yeah.
just casually. And I'm like, "Yeah, well, what?" Like Tim did tell him I came all the way from Oz, so I feel like maybe he already knows who I am because like
Yeah.
he's shared my photos and stuff a lot. Um, so I think even for Stein, he kind of went, "Oh, like I get to meet, this crazy, stupid Goosebumps fan that has way too much stuff." Because that's what he said to me. He's like, "You have too much," is what he said. And I was like, "Oh, okay, too much. Well, I'm still buying now." But that was when I briefly mentioned to him about my movie. Like I said, I
Yeah.
would love to adapt Night of the Living Dummy because he said to me, he's like, "Who the hell's Mr. Wood?" And I was like, right. You wrote the book like
Yeah.
33 years ago. Like, okay, you've forgotten who Mr. Wood
It
is.
makes
And I was like,
sense.
wait, you telling me you had a ghostwriter even back then? Don't you tell me that. Like, he just doesn't even remember writing that character because he never wrote the book. No, jokes. But, it made me think, like, wow, okay, he really doesn't remember the character. And I said, oh, I'd love to adapt it. And he was like, well, you can technically, but you just can't profit and make any money
Yeah.
off it. And I was like, you're saying I can do it, but I just have to use my own money and not like try to release it and make money
Yeah.
and like just make it free for everyone to just watch and be like, hey, here's my movie that I made with no money. Like, even though I have spent money,
Yeah.
and he just kind of said, yeah, well, you can do it. That's just basically that's how you have to do it if you were
Yeah.
wanting to. And I'm thinking, all right. And I sent him photos of Mr. Wood and he responded to me like the same day. So it was pretty wild. Like, that, oh, Bob just has an open chat with me now on Instagram. That's cool. He
Yeah.
responds to my messages. And yeah,
Was
so I guess the main supporter of the film really is
yeah.
Bob.
Was that like the thing in your mind? You're like, okay, I've got to do this now. I've got
Yeah,
the blessing
pretty
from
much.
Stein. It has to happen.
Mhm. It has to happen now. Like, the way the world's kind of going at the moment, like prices are going up. And
Yeah.
I was just like, if I don't make this now, I may not get to in 5 years or 3 years. Like, I've got to do it now. And I just went all in. Like, I started getting all the equipment, the crew, and then the dummies made from scratch. It was like, I got to do it all properly, got to do it all right, got to do my research, got to find these locations, got to find the right people that want to be a part of it, because it wasn't just a matter of getting like, you know, a crew. I wanted them to have some kind of idea of what Goosebumps was at least going into it. And I told them, well, guys, we're not making any money. We can't use any copyrighted music. Like, we can't use the Goosebumps theme song. But then again, I'm like, Jack Lenz is like a friend of ours now. What if I just asked him, like, hey, do you give me permission to use it? Like, you know, like, yes, this one movie is allowed to use it. Like, I feel like he would if I
Yeah.
asked him, but I just feel like that's the 90s and it's done and it's like in a time capsule now. Tie a ribbon around it and it's like
Yeah.
it looks pretty sitting on my desk. And now I'm kind of like, this is my movie. I'm making it now. I'm still setting it in the 90s, but I want everything to be fresh and original. But the book, what the story that we're making is, it's the book. Like we
Yeah.
haven't changed anything. But I feel like in terms of music and things like that, that's where we can be a little creative and do our own thing. But I will kind of give you a little bit of a tease. So in terms of the music, what we're going for is like an eerie, piano-y, dark tone that
Yeah.
will kind of just play out throughout the film. If scenes are a little more fun, then it might change a bit of a tempo, but we have like kind of a somber piano, you know, vibe going for the film. So,
Yeah.
I just feel like, it's one of the early Goosebump books, and you look at episodes like Welcome to Dead House and that, they had a really dark tone. Stay Out of the
Yeah.
Basement had a really dark tone. And those episodes were based off the early books. And I still consider Night of the Living Dummy one of the early books. So I want that kind of tone with this film as well to kind of match in with this was within the first 10
Yeah.
Goosebump books, the early days. So I really want that dark, somber undertone, eerie, creepy,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're going for with that anyway.
And I think with the designs of the puppets that you guys have, that's going to be much more fitting because
Mm-hmm.
if it was like a design like this Slappy, I mean, he's wearing headphones and sunglasses right now. He's obviously a silly Slappy. He much more
What's he
fits
listening to?
the goofy Danny Elfman soundtrack and
Yeah.
but and even like the 90s show, Slappy, it was dark piano, but fun piano. Like it was all over the
Yes.
place.
Yeah, it was. I always say that like Night of the Living Dummy 2 was a lot darker than 3. 3 definitely had the little more playful aspect to
Yeah.
it. 2 was very much like, no, there's no BS here. This is very much
Oh yeah.
this is like serious. This is serious, like, it's dark. And they really went for that with Living Dummy 2. And I like that. So when people ask me, oh, you like 2 over 3? Like 3 was like 40 minutes and had Hayden Christensen, and I was like, yeah, like, and I loved it, but I kind of like 2. I like the
Yeah.
darker undertones, like, and the music was so
Oh
eerie.
yeah.
Like the scene where it transitions from him coming alive for the very first time, where she cuddles him and he like his eyebrows, and he
Yeah.
looks to the, and then it transitions into that scene in the bedroom where she's like, practicing with him. That whole scene is so dark, like the
Oh yeah.
music and everything. It's beautiful. It's so amazing, and I love that whole sequence. And that one scene alone is like why I say I prefer this one over 3. Like
Yeah.
I love how dark it is and edgy it feels. But 3 was just definitely more, oh, that's a person in a suit running around.
Yeah.
Like, this is fun. And I loved it. 3 is still in my top like 5, 10 episodes. Like, and it was super fun.
Yeah.
It was really enjoyable episode. I love when he gets blown up by the lightning at the end. But 2 just for me was, yeah, kind of the
Even
peak
from
one, I think.
like story perspective, 1 and 3, from like an outsider's view, like parents of these kids, it's like, oh, they're just messing with each other. They're being kids. But 2,
Yeah.
this family thinks their daughter's insane. It's
Yeah.
Slappy's
They think she's
tormenting
crazy.
this family and this girl, and they
Hmm.
bring up sending her to a mental institution, and just
Yeah.
it's so dark.
Like just the Slappy writing Amy's name all over the walls in red paint. Amy,
Oh yeah.
Amy. Like, dude, that's like House of a Thousand Corpses, but the Goosebumps
That's
Slappy version.
it's
Like it's insane. That's like red rum, red rum, red rum,
oh
like
yeah.
all over the wall. Like, and I always like when I mention those things about Living Dummy 2 to people, they kind of go, oh yeah, it is pretty dark, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
when I mention those things, like, but yeah, Living Dummy 1 is more just like it takes forever
Oh
for
yeah.
the horses to get going, like the race to go. Like, it takes so long in Living Dummy 1. Like, but then I kind of, when we were doing the script, I'm like, no, I'm not taking anything out though. I'm giving the
Yeah.
fans like everything. And then they said, oh, we could do like the Schneider cut. And I was like, no, this would be the Slappy cut. Like, we'll do like the shorter version where we cut out some of the beginning scenes because yeah, there is a lot before things start going. Like for instance, like the opening scene is them in the bedroom with, you know, she's chewing gum, she's reading a book. Mom comes in, says, "Go outside and play, whatever." that whole scene could be taken out. You could literally start the movie or episode with the two girls like sneaking next door. You could
Yeah.
start it there. Like they come to a construction site, like, hey, like, you know, you could literally start the movie there and cut that first scene out, really. You know, and then there's a few other scenes throughout you could do that, but that's how I was looking at it. I was like, you could take that whole first scene out and just have it like shots of, have some like big shots of the house, and then you could just have the girls just like walking through, like, like, oh, this is Lindy and Chris, oh, they're going to the construction, like, oh, this is where we're starting, and I thought about that, but then I thought, no, 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 I am really want to give the fans the experience of the book. So yeah, it's exciting, very
Yeah.
exciting.
To you talk about your highlight for Curse City. For me, there's an honorable mention, which is, why does Slappy have hair? When did I give him hair?
Oh,
That was came an inside joke with the crew for a weekend, which was hilarious.
yeah, we did that too. Yeah, yeah. Why does Slappy have hair?
Why does he have hair? And then just getting to hang out with Avery, which has led to so much more. Like
Yeah,
those first two
he's a good guy.
TikToks, and then he came out of his way, him and Audrey, they came out of their way to meet us in Atlanta at the puppetry place and just hang out for a
Hmm.
couple hours, which was unbelievably kind.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Oh, that would have been amazing. Yeah. They're
and
they're they're amazing, those two. Like,
yeah,
they're such great people. And we're truly blessed that
oh yeah,
Avery's coming here to do this movie. Like, I still cannot believe it. Like, we have a professional puppeteer, so it takes a big headache off me,
oh yeah.
making the movie. Film this movie, and it's funny, like just sitting in this room, like looking around, it's just a lot of faces looking at me. But I was like, it's a 90s, like 12, 13-year-old girl's bedroom, like, and I was just like, oh, well, I'll just be covered in boys and band posters and Backstreet Boys and New Kids on the Block. But we did a
Yeah,
little Easter egg. So we put up Ryan Gosling on the wall because he was in Say Cheese
yeah,
and Die. And I was like, well, you got to have at least one of him up there. But one of the girls was saying, wouldn't it be funny if like all the guys you put on the wall were like actors from Goosebumps? So you put up like Billy from Welcome to Camp Nightmare, like put up, Grady from Well Fever Swamp, like, put
yeah,
obviously Ryan Gosling on the wall, like from Say Cheese and Die. Like, wouldn't that have been really funny? And I was like, yeah, but I don't think there's not many pictures of them, a lot of those
yeah.
actors from back then, especially in like high resolution. So I don't think it's gonna work.
It
But
would have
it's a
just been
cool
like a
idea.
screenshot from the episode.
Literally, like, I mean, there's one of Kai from Camp Nightmare with him and Saber, which is like a nice clear image. You've probably
Yeah,
seen it. It's a pretty iconic one actually of him just like with his arm around Saber.
oh
I was
yeah,
like, I could have just put that on the wall. Like that would have been a nice little Easter egg. But yeah, no, we got a lot of. I won't give away anything else, like in terms of you know, the film, but I will just say there's a lot of Easter eggs in the film.
oh yeah.
A lot. Like Goosebumps Easter eggs. Yeah, without giving, I can't say too much more because otherwise, yeah, I'll literally give it away. So I'll just say there are Easter eggs, and you'll have to really look at the background at times to try and spot them, because there is multiple scenes where we're doing that, especially the concert scene. There's a lot of Easter eggs, so
I
keep an
know.
eye
I'm
when you watch it.
gonna I'm gonna watch it and then geek out about it, and then for the next like month, it's gonna be all I'm watching.
Yeah, just keep watching it over and over. It's like, because for years there's been, Reddit posts, there's been speculation, rumors, did they ever do the original? There's people out there that claim they've actually seen it, but then we spoke to the showrunners and they said no, they never did the first one, like they never made it. So it's kind of crazy to think that we actually are doing it and giving it to the fans. Like, here you go. Like, now you
Yeah,
can just watch it and enjoy it, even though they're all gonna have Aussie accents, but that's fine. Uh, like, that was one of the things that I said. Like, if one person comes on and starts speaking American, then we have to get a bunch of people. So I was like, no, like to
yeah,
make to be easy, obviously for where we're shooting, the only one who's going to have an American accent is going to be Mr. Wood.
yeah,
Like Avery doing the voice is going to obviously be very much, the Mr. Wood voice, but everyone else is going to be Australian. So it's going to be it's the Aussie edition, exclusive, Night of the Living Dummy, you know. So no, it's gonna be really awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a couple of written questions, and then we
Oh,
can
okay.
just go back to spitting back and forth.
Yeah.
So, what was your first encounter with Slappy for those who don't know?
First encounter with Slappy was in 1999 because, well, I have a photo of my mum reading me Night of the Living Dummy, and I treasure that photo because it really does just solidify the where it started.
Yeah.
And back then, when you used to get photos printed out, they had the date on the back, like when it was like so 1999. So I was like, I must have only been 4. Like I wasn't even 5, I was 4. And so it must have been not long before that photo. Well, it probably happened that maybe within that couple weeks of because obviously I was over in New Zealand, so I was there for like maybe a month or something, and I was hanging out with my cousin and I was annoying him. And I remember the day like it was yesterday. He was playing a Simpsons computer game, which would have been a very old Simpsons computer game, something that came out in the 90s. So I would like to actually find out what it was. And I kept annoying him because he was trying to play the game, and he was like, "Oh, leave me alone! Like, go play with some of my toys or something. Read a book." And I was like, "Okay." And like, I went over to his desk, and he had a stack of Goosebump books, and boom, right on top, Night of the Living Dummy was the one on the top. So my first encounter with Goosebumps was literally seeing that book cover.
Yeah.
So when people say, "Oh, I saw an episode," I was like, "No, mine was actually Slappy for real." I saw the book on top of the stack, so I saw that first. So that my first thing I saw with Goosebumps with my own eyes was that Night of the Living Dummy cover. So it was almost like I was always meant to make this movie eventually.
Yeah.
You know, like it's always been a thing. So
The
I held it
prophecy.
up, and he said I was just yes, like he said that I was just staring at it for a very long time.
Yeah.
He said it was like 20, 30 minutes. You were just looking at the cover of the book, and then you would flip to the back and then look at the front again. Like he said, it was so weird. He said you weren't interested in the others. You just kept looking at that one, you know? And then eventually, obviously, becoming a Goosebumps fan, I discovered all the rest. So that
Yeah.
was my first encounter, was actually the original book cover, book 7. So yeah.
For me, I remember mine like it was yesterday too, because it was the movie, and so my mom used to work at a bank, and I would sit in their break room from like 3 to 5 while she was working, and they had a TV in
Mm-hmm.
there with like 4 news channels, an old cowboy channel, and Cartoon Network. I would watch Cartoon Network, and the trailer for the movie came on, and before I saw it, my favorite character, I thought it was going to be the Invisible Boy, who has a minute of screen time, and
Oh, yeah.
and then it was a couple days later, and it's funny because it was the first time I met my stepdad too. Um, we went to go see the movie, and I just fell in love with Slappy
That
because
was it.
it's him.
Your eyes lit up. Your eyes lit up
And
when you saw Slappy.
yeah, I'll remember always sitting in that back row of the theater and seeing him in the credits at the very end. Just
Hmm.
it gave me goosebumps. It gave me goosebumps.
Literally,
That's the best way to say.
when it came down from the yeah, I remember in the end credits, it was like the what do you call it? The power lines
Yeah,
with the crows, and then it panned down, and then it was Slappy there with the green and the yeah. No, I don't know what it is. Like I will admit, over the years, I've tried to like I love all the Goosebump monsters, and I tried to like really get into another one, and like this could be my favorite, but I always come back to Slappy no matter what happens. Like but then people ask me what's your favorite Goosebump book, and for the like I would say longest time, like years and years, it was always the Horror Camp Jelly Jam. And I don't know what it was. Like I love that book and I was a big fan of it. But then I like reread every Goosebump book, all 62 original. And man, it was tough getting through some of them, some of the bad ones.
oh yeah,
But oh, but I remember like reading them all, and then I kind of went like Slappy's my favorite villain, hands down. Night of the Living Dummy 2, second favorite book in the entire series, which is fitting to 2, Living Dummy 2. But my favorite Goosebump book became Welcome to Dead House. Like for some reason, it's super dark.
Oh yeah.
Like it is very dark. I love the atmosphere. Absolutely love the atmosphere. And the episode I love too. Even though the episode's very different, it's actually very different. Like Mr. Dawes is actually meant to be like young, for instance. Like he's not meant to be old. He's like a
Yeah.
guy in his 20s, like things like that. They didn't do the flesh melting off the skulls. They didn't do that. But the the episode had what the book had though, and it was the tone,
Oh yeah.
the dark, the music, and just the way it felt like how it was reading the book. But yeah, that became my favorite Goosebump book, and it's one of my favorite episodes, even though it is quite different. But the
Yeah.
tone is there. It's very much very dark, like the book was, and I love it so much. But yeah, no, so yeah, your first encounter with Slappy was the movie, and a lot of people have told me that, and mine was literally in 1999 seeing that book cover. So there you go.
Yeah. For book covers, it was in the period of which one is it? Here it is. These. This is my first ever Goosebumps book.
Oh
The
yes.
reprint of Night Living Dummy. It's very worn, but if
And
I'm correct, yep, got the Slappy
it's
with
got the
the
movie in the
popcorn.
back. Yep. Does it have the raised letters on that one? Because I know the
Let me see.
because that's the major motion. That one says the now major motion picture on that one, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So the one that came out when they first released the reprints in 2008, and it just says the original series from the Master of Fright at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Goosebumps letters were raised on it. Yeah, like they were like kind of like the old books.
hmm
But yeah, no,
I
absolutely love that.
I only have one old, like original, with the raised, and
Ah,
it's Lynette Horland.
hmm.
But all of my
Bloody good one.
other original ones I've got from the collector tins because that's just a good way to get the books.
Yeah, I've told people like, when they said, "What's a good Goosebump book to be introduced to?" And for some reason, Horrorland is one that I always suggest because I just feel like
Yeah.
it's such a big world. It's a big theme park. Like, I feel like it's a good opener book for
Yeah.
Goosebumps is Horrorland. Um, you know, the Haunted Mask is also really iconic. But like, what's interesting though? Like in Australia, like Halloween's not a massive thing here, like it is for you guys. Like Halloween
Yeah.
over there is huge. So like the Haunted Mask wasn't like a book that really took off in
Yeah.
Australia like it does for you guys over there. Like, because all the posts I see for Goosebumps over in the US is like Haunted Mask, Slappy, Slappy, Haunted Mask. Like those are the two main ones, right? But in Australia, like when I talk to Goosebump fans here, like that grew up in the 90s, a lot of them say Terror Tower, funny enough,
That's
because
cool.
that one was heavily pushed in Australia, that
Yeah.
episode. Like the VHS, the episode, like they really pushed that one here. Like Haunted Mask was also really popular, but like because Halloween's not such a big thing, it's
Yeah.
not a huge. I feel like that episode didn't resonate with a lot of people because it's like, oh, Halloween, it's such a big thing. Well, not here, it isn't. Like, it's not the scale like it is for you guys. So, like, when I talk to casual Goosebump fans, they always seem to pick up Terror Tower. They'll go,
Yeah.
oh, the dummy, oh, Terror Tower, like the one with the tower, and I'm like, a lot of Aussies seem to know about the tower one. Like, okay, interesting. But apparently that was the most accessible, like easy to find VHS tape here. Like the most common one. Like they just push that one like crazy, you know. But yeah, no.
So my next question, I don't know if this is going to be hard or easy for you. Do you have a favorite version of Slappy?
Oh, favorite version of Slappy? So we're talking all the different versions would be like, do you just mean like the ones from the TV show, movie, or like we talk book version, game version, video game?
Do
Oh
whatever you
man.
desire.
Um, okay. Well, like I love the original 90s TV show version. But I think the Slappy that has my heart would be, and I do love the movie version as well. I do love the movie version. I think the Disney Plus series is one of my least favorite, unfortunately.
That's such
Uh,
it's so wasted. 'Cause it looked
Yeah,
so cool, and it's
it didn't do much.
it's such a
No,
good
I
voice
think like
for it too. Like
yeah.
I'm hoping
Oh,
to at some point get Chris Greer on the podcast because him and that design and Ben Kakel, they carried that show just on
yeah.
their backs. It's like them and then um I can't remember the character's name. I'm pretty sure the actor is Will Price, who played the guy in Gary
Yeah.
Worms, and Justin Long, of course.
Mhm.
I feel like that group, like respect to all the other actors, but that group really
They were the
carried
best.
the show
Oh
on their
yeah, they were
backs.
the best.
It really
No,
captured
I
the
agree.
vibe of Goosebumps with them
Hmm.
because I don't know if the others hadn't read the books or just weren't familiar with the
Yeah,
franchise, but it was wrong.
it was off. It was off somehow. And but yeah, I guess favorite slappies. I'll just do a top three. My favorite is the book version. I think like the original book. So like Living
Yeah.
Dummy one, two, Living Dummy two. I love Slappy in that book. I think he's the most one of the most uh dangerous slash just yeah like um criminal mastermind Slappy. Like I don't know, tries to make
Yeah.
you seem like you're insane. So book version, TV show, movie. Those three are my favorite. I think if I had to pick three,
Yeah.
I'd just say those three, like top three. And then, you've got your Horrorland version of Slappy, you've got your video game versions of Slappy, you've got the Disney Plus series Slappy. Like there's so many now, and I would say
It's
those three win.
I
Yeah.
always I like to say because of course for a while I used that throw things slappy until I got
Yeah.
this bad boy. So I like to say that every slappy is the same, but they're also different. Like it's a hive mind. Like all the versions, they all
Mm.
exist. Like because Slappy, of course, this is inspired by how Avery does it. Like Slappy, the actor, and then there's this Slappy, that Slappy. I've made jokes with one of them about my redheaded twin and all things like that.
Yeah. No, no, I agree. Like they're all the same, but they're different.
Yeah,
There's comic book Slappy. Sorry, I missed one. There is you know, the comic book version now as well. From what was it called again? The company? Oh my gosh. I have all the comics at home and I can't remember the company that released the comics. Oh man. Oh man. Uh yeah, but there's that version too, where he looks kind of like a vampire in a
yeah,
way. I don't know. Like his outfit is more it's got like that weird
yeah.
great cape looking thing on the back. Like, yeah. But yeah, I'd say that one's kind of low on my list too.
I think that's why Slappy is so popular because he's everywhere. If you get into
He's
Goosebumps
everywhere.
in any form,
There's yeah,
you're gonna come across him some way somehow.
yeah. You can't escape him. You
No,
know, you really can't. Like he is everywhere.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I like those three. They're my favorite versions for sure.
So, how did you come into possession with like most of your collection?
uh Man. Well, a lot of it I found when I was young, but
Yeah.
it's not until you get adult money that you can really start
Oh yeah.
expanding your collection. So I'd say a lot of it came through mm, oh my gosh, there's so many different like sources, like marketplace,
Yeah.
eBay, markets, uh people just reaching out at
Yeah.
times too. Like I have a lot of people just reach out to me and say, "Hey, I've got all this Goosebumps crap. Do you want it?" And I'm like, "Don't call it crap, but yes, I do."
It's gold.
uh, Gold, Goosebumps Gold. The
That was
unreleased series.
unintentional.
Don't ever ask Stein about that because I feel so sorry for that one kid that
Oh,
asked the
that
question. And Tim was just laughing because he's like, he knows not to ask Stein about it.
I
So
got I
when
got
he did, Tim
secondhand
was like, "Oh
embarrassment
no!"
from that.
And he was just like, "Don't ask me about Goosebumps Gold. Like, there was no Goosebumps Gold because, like, look, the reason why Stein doesn't like talking about it is because that was during the legal dispute times of
Yeah,
Goosebumps, and I
that had to
guess
be
it
a
was a
very
bad
tough time for
couple of
him.
years. It was a tough time. It was a bad 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Like, so I think it's just, yep, don't ever ask him about it. But the
yeah,
cool thing about Goosebumps Gold, while we're quickly on that subject, is, you know, Tim was doing the art for that. So we were going to continue getting Tim Jacoba's artwork. And we nearly got like a sequel to Welcome to Dead House, which still
yeah.
hasn't happened. So that's a bit sad. You know, but yeah, no, in terms of like my collection, I'm not in that room right now, but um, I would say honestly, like eBay Marketplace in the
Yeah,
last, I'd say 5 to 10 years, because realistically, finding this stuff in the wild now is near impossible. I do come across it occasionally. If I go to like a toy fair or something, there might be something. But if I go to markets, I'm lucky to even find books now.
yeah.
You know, so I'd say at the moment your best friend if you want a Goosebump collection is eBay Marketplace. But still go to thrift stores.
Yeah. I
Still
think
check them out.
I think the reason why it's getting harder to find them, because most of the time you would find them, it was probably an unsuspecting mother who's like, "Oh, they're not going to read these again," and just takes them to the store for
Yeah.
a couple bucks, and then.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No,
now,
I know what you mean.
like the kids who grew up with it are like, "No, these stay with me. This is my childhood. I don't want to get
Yeah.
rid of it."
No, don't want to get rid of it. Like, yeah, it's funny. Like, I buy so many Goosebump books when I see them, but I give them away for free
Yeah,
pretty much all the time. Like, I'm always like just giving them away or trading with people. And, you know, it's, I get excited just when I find like the books, even though I already own like 5 or 6 of this book. But then in saying that, I've realized when I've gone through my whole collection that there is a lot of books I have that are not in first print.
yeah,
Like I have so many of like this book, that book, but just because I do doesn't mean any of them are first print. I might have like 5 or 6 of print 3 or print 4 or print 20. Like, but print one, it's like, oh wait, I have none of this one, none of that one, none of that one. Oh, I got one of this one. And it's those earlier books though that are the hardest to find, first print.
yeah.
Really hard to find. Like I have like 3 first prints of Night of the Living Dummy, but that's like me buying every copy I've ever found in the wild. Like, and I've only somehow managed to find like a few, which is insane in like almost 25, 26 years. So there you go.
And since we're on the topic of your collection now, do you have anything that shines above all the rest? That's the prized possession.
Well, I have definitely a couple items. So I have one of the original Lawn Gnome props used in the movie, all
Oh
in one
wow.
piece, which Avery said he remembers they were just hanging around the Sony studios for a while, like just around. And he couldn't believe that I got one because apparently he wanted one. He worked on the movie and didn't even get one, which I'm kind of like, that's sad. But the
Yeah.
cool thing is when he comes to Australia, I can be like, remember this? Here, you can hold it again. Like, you know? Um, so I have that, but I wouldn't say like it's a prized possession. Okay, so I have the original Night of the Living Dummy 3 script, one of the original scripts signed
Oh
by the
yeah.
entire cast, which includes Hayden Christensen's autograph when he was like 14. And I recently got it signed by Stein at Curse City Con. So the only one left to sign it is Cal Dodd, the voice of Slappy. Um, and then that's it. Everyone has signed it. Like, I thought about it and was like, oh, Jack Lenz, but then I remembered there's the music from that episode was obviously not Jack Lenz because he didn't do every episode of the
Yeah.
TV series. So I was like, oh, I guess it doesn't make sense. Like, I probably don't need his autograph on it. I thought about it. But then I also have the Series 2, not Series, I have the Series 2 collectibles. Yes, that is a rare thing. But I have the Series 2000 Fan Club pack, which I got signed by Tim and Stein
Yeah.
when I was at Curse City Con, which is a super rare, hard to find item. And they both signed right on the front of the box. So that's a grail now, an absolute grail.
Did
I
they
would hate
both
to take away
say
that.
they'd never seen one?
They both said they'd never signed one. Tim has signed a Series 2000 fan club pack now, which I believe Nostalgic Goosebumps has. Someone's collection has it, but Stein said he's never signed one. He's like,
Wow.
I've never. Well, Tim hadn't at the time. He hadn't at the time. So yeah, they both said that they'd never seen one or signed one. So Stein was like, because I went up to his table because I remember I had all my autographs organized, but then I remembered, oh, I didn't get the Series 2000 thing. So I remember when I walked up to him, he looked at me and he went, "Don't you have enough?" Like he's really joking. But then when I handed it to him, he went, "I have never ever seen one of these. I've never signed one of these." And I kind of went, "You mean I'm the only one that has one signed? Wow, that's crazy, you
That's
know." But
yeah.
now I know there's other people out there that will try and get theirs signed. But then Kai-Erik Erickson, who played Billy in Welcome to Camp Nightmare, he when he signed my VHS tape, because it was only released in the UK, he said he's never signed one. So mine
Wow.
is technically the only one with Kai-Erik Erickson's autograph on it, who played Billy. So he signed his name and then he just wrote Billy under it, because we had him on the podcast, and I just sent it to him, and then he sent it back. You know, so that's a grail piece for me too. Like just having that, you know,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. Like going to Curse City Con, I was able to get all these like already grail pieces just
Yeah.
made them. I just made them worth a lot more money now, but I'm never selling them, so it's just for my own personal, you know. Yeah. What about you? What's your grail piece apart from Slappy?
Apart from Slappy,
Yeah.
that's tough. But it's got to be this. It's got to be the picture with everybody from Curse City.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You
It's
know what the
just,
crazy thing about that photo is? You have a picture there with literally, obviously, you know, you got Avery and Morgan and that, but then you actually are in the same photo as the author, illustrator, and composer
yeah,
in in the one photo. Like it's like the ultimate Goosebumps like photo,
like,
you know,
yeah.
to meet
This
to meet
was,
everyone together.
it was so worth the price.
Oh, dude, it really was. And you got Craig White there, you know,
Yeah,
like, oh man, it's insane. Like the only one missing to me, if you want to do like the OG 90s Goosebumps, is Mark Nagata.
yeah,
He's like the last one missing from like when we took the photo, I was kind of like, damn, there's like one that really needs to be in this photo, and it's Mark. And we've spoken to him a couple times, you know, like we've had him on the podcast. So, but he couldn't get there. And I just thought,
yeah.
man, he was like the one missing from that lineup that would have just really completed that, you know. But still having Tim, Craig, and Jack and Stein, like it just yeah, it's crazy, man.
I remember, because when it was happening, you, Isaiah and Nick, you were right in front of me, and I really thought about just like asking, can they be in here too?
Yeah, I mean
Because,
we would have. We totally would have. Yeah. Like
but
we were
I
jumping on so
also
many photos throughout the
I was looking in that room, and things were starting to get very hectic, and I was just like,
day. Oh
maybe I'll pass this time.
yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of people in that room, and
Oh yeah,
you know, I think Stein was just having, and you know what? Stein was having a blast, I think. I think
yeah,
he felt really I keep saying Stein, but Bob. Sorry, I just call him Bob now because I even call him Bob when I message him now on Instagram. Like when I got the movie, I said, "Hey Bob," you know. I feel like he had a blast himself. Like he didn't have any bodyguards with him. He just walked around, you
yeah,
know, basically on his own half the time. I just feel like he didn't feel super pressured there, you know.
yeah,
But at the same time, he's like, everyone I know is here though. Like Tim's here because him and Tim have a friendship, you know. Like, oh, Jack Lenz, I've never met you. You did the theme. You did my theme song. He said, you know,
yeah.
you did my theme song, yet I've never met you before. You know, so I think he just kind of went, wow, like all of us in one room. This is cool. Like, you know, and I think he felt that. You know, like it just really showed because he felt really relaxed. You know, we were having dinner downstairs and like Tim said, "Oh, you know, I'm going to be having dinner with Stein tonight." But he said, "Oh, well, with God. I'm having God called and I'm having dinner with him." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Stein comes walking in on his own. My mum runs over and gives him a hug. And everyone's looking, we're all looking at each other like, oh, bodyguards just whoop, like But Bob literally just says, "Oh, that's nice." Like that's what he said, and I was like, "Oh," like because he was probably like, because my mom just, obviously it's been a nightmare for my mom because she's like, you know, she says, "You have been in our life for as long as I can remember, because of him." Like, so meeting you is like meeting family, is what she said. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was. And then I just went up and shook his hand, and then Tim just said, "Oh, he came all the way from Australia to meet you," and he goes, "What? What?" And I said, "Oh, I've waited 25 years to shake your hand." And he goes, 25 years? Like, I've waited a quarter of a century to shake this hand of yours. So, long overdue. How you going? Because it's just not, Stein, like, never comes out to Australian places like that. So, and it's hard for me to come there. So I've never had the opportunity to
Yeah.
meet him. It's never happened. But this finally was the reason. So, no, it was great. Awesome weekend.
Yeah. And I I'll say I forever feel remorse for not eating breakfast the one morning where you were passing around the Vegemite because I've always wanted to try Vegemite.
And everyone liked it. That was the crazy thing. Because here's the thing with Vegemite, you have to know how to prepare it
Yeah.
for first timers. If you just put a bunch of that on bread or like a spoon of it, you're
Yeah.
going to have a bad first experience and you're going to hate it and you're never going to want it again. So I said, all right, I'm going to do it the traditional way, how we do it in Australia, lots of butter and just a little bit like dab it on,
Yeah.
just so you can get that taste. Everyone liked it. Everyone.
Yeah.
And Craig was like, I want more. And I was like, I can make you more. But I gave Craig, and he said, put a bit more on mine, like a bit more Vegemite. And yeah, no, he loved it. So I was like, okay, if you introduce people to it the right way, there's a 50-50 chance that they will actually like it. Or maybe like a 60-70% chance.
Yeah.
The 30-40% is oh, I got introduced to it in the worst way. But there was actually for a little while, Cadbury brought out a Cadbury Vegemite chocolate
Oh wow.
in Australia. And it tasted, I love Vegemite, but I must admit, with chocolate, was kind of weird. And it was a limited time thing. And I felt like this was just a joke because
Yeah.
it's Vegemite Australia. I thought they did it just as a joke, as like this is how you can like get people overseas to try it, is like give it to them inside chocolate. Be like, here, eat this chocolate. Ooh, what's that yeast salty thing in the middle? That's Vegemite. Oh, that's Vegemite. But I didn't think it was the right way to introduce people to it because
Yeah.
inside the chocolate it tasted really weird.
But
Wasn't great.
I've always been a fan of stuff that nobody particularly likes. Like my favorite
Yep.
candy, at least here, is like a bottom of the barrel candy, Swedish fish. I love Swedish fish.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Swedish fish. Yep, we
And
got that.
I love salty, savory stuff. And whenever I saw
Oh,
that
you might like
video,
it.
I was just like, man, I missed out.
I think you would have liked it. If you like salty, savory things, Vegemite's pretty much like a good, when you have that on toast, the way that I was preparing it, I think you would
Yeah.
have actually liked it through that. It's everyone said, oh, it's not bad. And then Goosebump Bro tried it and he went, hmm. But then he went in again and again and he was like, oh, that's not bad. Like once he had a few bites of it. So I was like, I think he was the only one that showed a little bit of like a, hmm. Oh no,
Yeah.
Isaiah, I think wasn't the biggest fan.
Yeah.
He just goes, it's all right. Like it's all right. But then Nick took a bite and just went, that's good. That's good stuff. Like, and I said, if you like salty savory, I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like you will like it. So I think you would have liked it for sure.
But I mean,
With that.
hey, who knows? If I end up coming over there to help on the fan film, maybe I can try it then.
Dude, you should totally do it. Like
All right.
I want as many Goosebumps fans to be a part of the film or like cameo somewhere. Like, I'm trying to get everyone involved in some way. Like,
Yeah.
for the Goosebumps crew, for instance, I was like, how do I involve the Goosebumps crew into this movie? Like, so I was trying to think of a way to Easter egg it, and I did. I found a way I'm going to do it. It's very subtle. You blink, you'll miss it, but it will be there. It's just you have to, you know. But yeah, I have so many Easter eggs going, a lot,
And
like
hey,
from various different books.
I'll talk to the boss lady, and she seems open to it. So hopefully,
Just tell Avery, what flight are you on? Like,
yeah. I mean,
I'll fly, I'll fly to here, and then we can catch the same flight.
yeah, that'd be the best way to do it.
Yeah, man. Like, we're just trying to get all the help. Like, I would just get all you puppeteer guys together. I would just be like, you guys just do your thing. This is the dialogue. This is the scene. This is the angle. This is the setup. Create it. Now create it without the scene in the camera, obviously. But I feel like no matter how careful we will be to try to make sure Avery and everyone stays hidden out of frame for certain shots, I
Yeah,
feel like there's going to be one shot where we see like the tiniest bit of an arm or the tiniest of a, you know, and the editors will have to like try and just crop out like,
yeah,
the tiniest bit of frame, like, oh, I can see a little bit of a shirt sleeve here or something. But yeah, no, it's gonna be so much fun.
yeah,
We got all these really cool props. I mean, we got like just Jurassic Park VHS just chilling on the bench here, and I got my little Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So that
yeah.
was like early '90s. And The Simpsons was also early '90s. So we have we got Scratchy. He's just chilling here too. Yeah, I wanted to include just a good variety, but I was
Yeah.
like, it doesn't specify in the book what's in their room. So I was like, well, I just have to go based on the fact that it's early '90s and it's a 12, 13-year-old girl's room. So what do I do?
Like
Research.
from what you showed me, I would totally believe if you like took a picture when it's done with like an old grainy camera and just
Yeah.
I would so believe like this is from the 90s.
That cassette player sitting a little,
Yeah.
and just even the chairs that the dummy's going to be sitting
Oh
in. Like,
yeah.
so we've got the chair closest to the window over there. So we're going to put some like sheer curtains on. So in the book, it says the curtains flap over his face. We're going to create that exact
That's
moment
awesome.
where Slappy's sitting in that chair. And we've got what's called RGB lights, which create
Yeah.
different colored lights. So you can have, red, green. So we're going to create that greeny kind of effect with the light. And Slappy will be sitting there and we're going to have the curtain. So we are creating that. And I said, whoever's doing behind the scenes that day, take a photo of that and that goes on the cover or something like on the
Yeah.
back, of the DVD, because that's going to be like a money shot.
Yeah. I would love I just love picturing the shots in my
Mm-hmm.
head, especially since we've like seen the puppets in full. Just I'm just imagining just Slappy in the window looking down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just
Oh, dude, we're doing it all. Like we're doing it all. We're not leaving anything out. We want to
yeah.
create the green mist effect. When Mr. Wood gets crushed, like we want to create all these things, and you know, because like here's my thing. I've always wanted to know to another Slappy fan like yourself in Night of the Living Dummy, the original.
Yeah.
Do you believe Slappy was alive the entire time when Chris read the card? From that moment on, he was also alive? Or do you think it was that mist that went up through the window and entered Slappy and he became alive? Because technically, the magic words worked for Slappy and Mr. Wood. So when Chris read them, did both dummies come alive at that moment? But Slappy was just like, I'm taking a back seat, keeping it cool. I'll wait for my brother to do something stupid, and then I will. I've always wanted this.
I like to think they're both alive for the entire thing. Because
Yeah.
for first off, the spell, how it functions just as a whole, is extremely confusing, especially with all the
Yeah.
adaptations. Like, um, for instance, the 2023 show, Slappy talks to Harold before he even says the words, which
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
is just strange. And
Yeah. It is
with
kind of strange, isn't it?
Haunted Halloween, he already magically appears. Like there's no visual effect or nothing. He's just there. Is he
He's
alive
just
from that
there.
point? They try to do the thing where they say the spell backwards and it doesn't work. Did the spell work in the first place, or was he just always alive? But
Mm-hmm.
I like to think Slappy and Mr. Wood were alive from the start, and they're brothers, so obviously they have a rivalry. And I think Slappy really wanted Mr. Wood gone, and at night is sitting next to him and is like, "You should do this," and
Yeah.
just make these
I
girls
feel like
go
they were
crazy.
talking.
And then
Yeah.
whenever, because Slappy knows his brother is an idiot, and when he inevitably messes it up, he's like, okay, now I take the fruits of his labor. I didn't have to
Yeah,
do a
it's my
thing.
turn now. It's my turn now. I'm awake. Yeah, I do believe so too. Like when she read those words, Slappy also jolted awake. I believe that. He also jolted awake because that spell card works for both dummies. So I
Yeah,
believe she read it, which was like halfway through the book somewhere.
yeah,
And then Mr. Wood and Slappy, wherever he was, I think he was in the room at the time on the chair.
yeah,
He woke up too. They both did.
yeah.
Simultaneously, they woke up together. And I believe that. I don't believe the whole, oh, yeah, the mist went up through the window. And then, so, I don't believe that because that was what the graphic novel showed. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the mist went up. And I'm like, no,
I didn't like it.
because when she read those words, yeah, I don't like that version. I was like, no, when she read those words, they had to have both been awake. They had to.
And also, just the first thing Slappy ever does, and the thing he's most iconic for, just staring.
Yep.
It's I
He's always staring.
he's planning. He's sitting from afar,
Yeah.
just
What can I do?
yes.
What can I do? He's like, my brother's bound to show up, and then I'm gonna have to do some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I believe he was alive and he was planning stuff the whole time. And then Living Dummy 2, he was, yeah, it all started right away because he didn't have to worry about Dennis because Dennis wasn't alive
Yeah.
until Dennis was alive. Like, did Dennis come alive too when she read the words? In Hey, that's a theory too.
Yeah.
Like, Night Living Dummy 2, when Amy read the magic spell card, did Dennis also come alive? Maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just for all dummies. You read it within, and if there's a dummy within 100 meters, it just comes alive. You know?
I
I don't
also
know.
I like to think Dennis. So, well, first I wanna ask you, what do you think is like the chronological order of all of the books? Like
Oh.
Night Living Dummy 1 to, let's say, just Bride. Do you think they're in that order or is it separate?
Hmm. Every single book ever written about Slappy, or just the three,
We can,
or up to Slappy's Nightmare.
yeah, do up to Nightmare.
Um. Hmm. Well, it says he has a chip on his lip in like a few of the books. So I'm trying to think. I would say one would be the first one, like in order.
Yeah.
But then the others could be in a different order. They could be.
I feel
Like
like,
you could almost, yeah,
I think one is first because
yeah,
Mr. Wood's not in any of the others.
yeah,
So
I think so.
it's one. And then I want to say Bride as the second
Oh, right is the second one.
because he's, if I can remember correctly, he's pretty much intact in that one. Like nothing's happened to him.
Yeah,
And
he's in
then,
good condition.
yeah. And then I want to say two. And
Yeah,
Dennis was what Rocky was supposed, what ended up like Rocky being in three. But Dennis was like, no, I'm not working for you. And he brought Dennis to life as well. That's what
yeah,
I
I
like to
think so.
think.
He brought Dennis to life. Yeah, or like maybe Mr. Wood brought Slappy to life. Ooh.
It's a
You know,
chain.
there's so many theories. I guess Stein just left it open because it's like, it could be any of those. It could be any number of those things. He
Yeah.
brought him to life. They both came alive when she read the spell. Like, it could be in any number of things, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Or there's a theory that, yeah, Mr. Wood died and then the evil spirit went inside Slappy, but that doesn't make sense when you look at you know, Slappy's backstory, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense then for that to be the case. So, yeah, no, I'd say that's a pretty good theory. I agree with that one.
Also,
Yeah.
I just feel like out of all of the possibilities, Mr. Wood's spirit just going up into Slappy, that's like the lamest one. That's like, eh,
Yeah, I think so. I don't like that theory. I
no.
like the theory that they were both alive, like they both woke up.
Yeah.
I kind of like that theory, you know, like she read the spell cut, and then Slappy was like, "Oh, I'm awake." Mr. Wood's like, "I'm awake. I'm gonna kill everyone," starting with the dog, because literally, like, he strangles the dog.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he was just a crazy,
He's a
violent
menace.
menace. He was a menace of a villain. He was a menace, and I like Avery's voice for it. It kind
Oh
of
yeah.
works really well
I
with
like
the
it a
type of
lot.
dummy he
Let
is.
me I I'm gonna pull up the message I sent to him when I because when I first heard it, I was like, that's Mr. Wood. And
Yeah,
I forwarded that video to him in our DMs and I said, that voice sounds great. And he asked if I thought so, and he wasn't really sure about it. And I said, I think it's the right amount of similar to Slappy while still being its own thing. What I really like is how his voice sounds more chaotic and Joker Pennywise-esque, which is a good contrast to Slappy's more sinister and cunning voice.
yeah, yeah. I think so. And Avery's doing the one slappy line as
Yeah.
well at the end of the, you know. So I said to him, "Hey, you get to do one line for slappy, and it's going to be the most." And I said to him, "It's going to be the most cunning, creepy, evil." Or he could just do his slappy voice that he's done for all the press stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like that one line is going to be like, yeah, that's super raspy, cunning, creepy, you know, because it's one line. Like
Yeah.
we could literally record 10 different versions of it and then just go with the one that works the best with the music and stuff. Because at the end of the day, once it's cut together and we add the music and everything, then we can be like, all right, which version works the best with everything else? Um, you know, because it's Slappy's one line, you know, so we can do
Yeah.
it any which way we want. Where Mr. Wood, it's like he says a lot of stuff, so we have to kind of keep it the same. But you know, Slappy, it's like we can really do something different because it's one line.
Yeah.
You know, I think so.
Um,
Yeah. Oh well, hey, I had a funny idea. In you know, obviously the TV show and the movies had the American Slappy voice, and
yeah.
then the Disney Plus series did the British Slappy. Are we gonna get the Aussie Slappy in this? We'd be like, because like Aussie, you know, we talk like this, like, "Hey, slave, that other guy gone? I thought he never leave, mate." You know, I think you could have like a mate in there. Well,
Yeah.
he'd never leave, mate. Like that would be kind of funny because like people would go, "Oh, okay," like they had to right at the end. But then I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, I think it'll, you know, with the tone we're going for and the
Yeah.
dark, I feel like that would just completely kill that. Like right at the end, it'd be like the Dennis and I Love W2 moment where he goes goofy, you know. I
Uh,
like, I couldn't do it. I'd be
yeah.
like, no, give a creepy, sinister voice, of course.
I of course Avery's voice is always going to be Slappy to me because that's the one I do. It's it's become like secondhand for me. I can just talk
Yeah,
like him whenever I want. And
yeah,
um but I feel like if I hadn't heard that voice, like I will forever be sad that we've never had Tim Curry play Slappy in anything. Because Tim
oh
Curry's
yeah,
that just he's like he's accent and how he pronounces things. It's just it
yeah, yeah.
feels slappy to me. And
It does. It does. Could you imagine like a Jeff Goldblum slappy, like, oh, yes, I'm
I
I'm
thought
gonna
that
turn you into a
guy
dummy.
never leave, yes.
Like that would be so interesting to have a Jeff Goldblum Slappy. I don't know why. Trying to think of like, oh, I'm going to be Slappy today. Like I think someone like, 'cause I was doing Mr. Herbert the other day from Family Guy, and someone was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, could you imagine like a Mr. Herbert Slappy, like, oh, hello, Chris," because it's like Chris and Lindy,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, "Oh, don't even say that," because like the Mr. Herbert voice, I'm like, "Oh," and he says Chris all the time, so I'm like, "Oh, okay." I get where someone was like putting the two together, and I was like, no, no, because I did Mr. Herbert on one of our podcasts. So
Yeah.
that's where it came from. Someone was like, oh, what if like Mr. Herbert was like Slappy or something? Like I was like, no, I had like the Slappy voice. But no, there's so many different like ways that I think about it, like in funny
Yeah.
ways. And I'm just like, that's just like, yeah, Mr. Herbert, Jeff Goldblum or Tim Curry, like, or Christopher Walken, could be
Yeah.
Slappy. Like there's so many
Something
different.
something I realized with Slappy, there's a very thin line. If you start moving your hands like this and saying, quite frankly, you turn into Donald Trump. And it's like
Oh
they're
yeah, yeah,
right
yeah.
there, especially with
If
Avery
you turn into
Slappy.
Donald Trump Slappy and just does the
And
little dance, oh man.
it's like there's
Um,
a very strange pipeline with the voices I can do. Because it started with like
yeah.
a John Mulaney, and then I added a little bit of rasp,
Oh yeah.
and then there's Trump, and then if you just completely overflow it, it's Slappy.
And then it becomes Slappy. No, that's so true. Oh well, it will be interesting. I'll just say to Avery, like, come up with like a bunch of different ways you want to say it, and we'll just record all of them. Like, you know, we'll record them all, and we'll just pick the one that we think works the best with the music and
Yeah,
it's not just even the music. It's like how dark the scene is, how much the
yeah,
lighting in the scene. Like, does he need to have a more dark voice because it's really dark, or is it going to be like a little more like that? I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, but I like the Mr. Wood voice. I think it's great.
Oh yeah.
Um, just when he said, "What time is the blimp gala?" If you count your chins, will it tell us your age? And I'm like, your face reminds me of a watch I had removed. So he did the Mr. Wood laugh, and it was kind of like a like it sounded really cool. I can't do it, Avery, to save my life, because I know you're probably gonna watch this, but
I
it
hate it.
sounded amazing. Like I can't remember if we recorded because we were filming some of the table read. I can't remember if we
Yeah,
recorded any moment in which he did the laugh, but it was kind of like a like and it was great.
I'm
I was
just
like, I love
picturing.
that.
I'm picturing Beetlejuice,
Oh,
Seth Rogen. Yeah,
oh yeah, yeah. Like a well, there's the line in the book and in our film because we've kept that as well where he says, let me out" of the cupboard. So I'm like, you need to almost do like a "let me out" because it's like he's muffled because he's inside the cupboard. So we
yeah,
need to do like kind of a muffled, like "let me out." Like
yeah.
I'm just trying to think like how like because that line I feel like has to be a really creepy line
Oh
when he
yeah.
says "let me out." So yeah, I'll be like, give me the most creepy, sinister Mr. Wood, let me out. You know. But yeah, it's gonna be fun when we get to play around with it anyway. Like when we get to practice and like when Avery's here and we can actually do everything live. Because I told him, obviously he said he's gonna keep practicing over the next few months. Like everyone's gonna be doing their bit.
What I think would be funny is like outside of the film, after it releases, just release a cut of just Avery recording the line in a whole bunch of different voices, just like silly
Oh
voices
yeah.
off the wall, just like have him say this like Fozzie Bear, Bumpy, and just a whole line of characters.
We could get that, Avery, if you want to do that. We'll just get you to do it 100 different which ways. Like, yeah, like I was thinking about all that, like so many different ways that we could like do it. But yeah, like that'll be the fun part when we get there on the day
Yeah.
anyway. We can rehearse it and yeah, we'll get it to sound great. Yeah, it'll be fun. I can't wait.
So let me see. what I have next. Oh, the Goosebumps Crew podcast. How has that whole ordeal? What's that been like for you?
Oh, like from day one to now, yeah, it's been. I guess the biggest take from it is obviously we get to talk Goosebumps, but you know, we've met people that we never thought we'd ever meet. Like,
Oh yeah,
and we've interviewed people that we didn't even think has social media or anything. Like obviously Catherine Long was the biggest one. It was like most iconic episode for the Haunted Mask. It was like,
yeah,
and then we did the reunion where we had Catherine Long, Catherine Short, and Amos. I was like, this is surreal. Like, this is actually, guys, do you know what we're doing right now? Like, that's all I kept thinking in my brain. And
yeah,
then we interviewed Carol Dodd, we interviewed Avery, Ron Oliver. Like, you just go through this endless list. We even got some of the actors from the Disney Plus series, which we
yeah,
didn't think would happen, you know. Um, but I guess, yeah, the biggest take is just the friends we've made and the people we've been able to talk to and have these connections. It's
yeah,
been insane. Like, honestly, it's just people that you watch in these episodes growing up that you never would have thought you would ever get to spend like 2 hours on a podcast with, or an
oh
hour,
yeah,
whatever it is. It was just very, very surreal. And we can forever have that. And, Catherine Long, she responds to us when we email her. And, that's what I mean. Like, it's the connections, like
yeah,
you build up these, you build it up with them. And yeah. And who knows in the future what else, what other doors could open? Like, for me, it was making this movie, even though it's cost a lot of money. But the connection I made going over to Coast City,
yeah,
and that's why this room is set up the way it is now. Because like we're actually doing this. We're
yeah.
actually doing this, And we've got Avery coming all the way from the US. Like we've got our main actress playing Chris is like a 3-hour flight away. It's
Wow.
like 15, 20 hours to drive.
Well,
Like, but
I
she
took
was
a I
she
took a
was just
map test on Australia today. What part? Coming from where to
mhm.
where?
So from Adelaide to
Oh
Gold
wow.
Coast.
Whoa.
So
Oh
it's like
yeah.
Adelaide's like all the way
Yeah.
down there. But the thing about casting these two girls was because we couldn't find twins, it was near impossible to
Oh
find
yeah.
two twins the right age, the right ethnicity. Like it was not easy, and
Yeah.
to have the chemistry. We just started doing chemistry reads, and I remember seeing her audition, Billy Taylor, and I remember thinking like, because we had Annabelle Rose McGowan, and she could have played either role when
Yeah.
she did her audition. And we thought Lindy was like, we need someone that can really be, excuse my French, bitchy, because Lindy's not very nice. She's obviously torments Chris for most of it. So it was like,
Yeah.
you know, finding her was like, okay, this is going to be kind of difficult. But once we got Annabelle first, it was like, all right, now we
Yeah.
need to find Chris. We need to find the match for her. And I remember thinking like, this is going to be difficult. But then I remember seeing Billy's audition, and I remember thinking, wow, she's all the way in Adelaide, but I really like her audition. She's got a good look for the role. She had shorter hair already. And I was like, okay. And she was a little bit older, but together they look fine.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, Annabelle's, going to be 12. So, like, they're a couple of years apart, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things now. But
I'll tell
she
you,
came
whenever
over.
I saw the casting announcement, I was like, they look like they could be twins. They look very similar, at least to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. They had a good look together. Like, they
yeah,
look good together. And the way when Billy came in, we auditioned all these other girls, and we auditioned girls after Billy,
yeah,
but we had already decided on her like after she left the room. So we got her in and we took photos because we're like, it's a long way for her to come. Let's take photos now, just so we've got them. She's probably thinking, why am I getting these photos taken? Like, but they haven't told me I got the role because we still had more auditions. So
yeah.
yeah, she came in and she started reading the lines with Annabelle, and I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like
That's it.
these two, like because I was like, they are the most important roles in this film. Like if they don't work, if we don't believe them, this film will fail. Like
Yeah,
Lindy and Chris and Lindy are the most important key characters in this. Everyone else will just kind of follow.
yeah,
So it was like they're always fighting, they're always arguing. So we need to believe all that. And yeah, they just those two did so well in their audition. Like they just bounced off each other really well. And I was like, I know she's lives so far away, but we need to somehow make this work
It's got to
because she's
happen.
really good. You know? We gotta make it happen. So yeah, we gotta have a look back. So yeah, no, we're really happy with our two main leads. And we got mom and dad, Miss I just call it the Power family now. Uh
Yeah.
so
But,
yeah, it's just it's
whenever I
good.
saw, like, all the time, whenever you guys post just like set photos of stuff, and I'm just this is believable. You guys are doing
Yeah.
incredible work. Like what I said earlier, if I found like old grainy pictures in the storage bin of like the room and like of the family photos, I was like, I believe like this is a family.
Yeah. We're going all in. I mean, you know, we're still 2 months away from filming. Like,
Yeah,
but because we're doing the film on like a shoestring of a budget,
yeah,
and we need to make sure everything is prepared and ready before we start. Like, so, you know, we still have like, yeah, a little over 2 months, like 2 months and a week. So it's just a matter of really making sure everything is ready before we start. Before the cameras start rolling, we want to make sure everything is in place, set, ready, because we don't want to get to like shooting and like, oh, we forgot this, you know, we forgot something. Quick, we need to run and go sort this out now. You know, and especially because we have people coming from different country, a different
yeah.
state, it's like we need to really make sure we have everything prepared. So yeah, we've just been running around like mad chickens with heads chopped off, trying to get this ready. But we're almost there. We're just working out the last little bugs now. Only got a couple little items left to get, equipment
Yeah.
wise, but everything else is pretty much ready. So we're
Um,
making Night of the Living Dummy.
I'm excited to see it either from here or if something ends up happening. I'll
Yeah,
I'll be
man.
there. Day one. I'll be
Yeah,
sat.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, it's exciting. We can't wait.
Now I'm gonna intrude real quick. Now that we've talked about that found film, I'm gonna just I've had ideas for like ever since I got back into Goosebumps of different stories with Slappy, and one that
Oh,
I've been thinking about a lot recently is like a prequel to the Goosebumps movie where it follows Hannah. She unlocks a book, not knowing what's going to happen. Coincidentally,
oh,
Slappy comes out, and it could be like I like to picture Stein in this being the more antagonist role because I really like the idea of because when Slappy first comes out of the book, it's like, what'd you bring me out this time for? What are we doing? And I like to think
mm,
that Stein, whenever like something would happen in a town, he would have an agreement with Slappy or another monster. They get to rampage for a little bit, and then they go
uh,
back in the book.
yeah.
So
They've always got to move around.
I like to think Hannah has a friend group, and in this she would know that she was a creation of Stein until like she has a one-on-one with Slappy. He's like, "We're siblings, you and I. You are a monster," and it's like this whole thing. And
Oh,
I just love Slappy and Stein working together more.
yep.
And Stein wouldn't show up at all until the end.
That's a
And
good idea, actually, for a
I
prequel.
so I have
Yeah, no, I like that. Have you been writing like a script or something?
I'm in the very early stages of it, but I really like I think it's a funny idea to have Avery be Stein because he did something for his like local theater where we had this look. I just like that feels like Stein to me. like
Stein from like the past a little bit.
like in the '90s show intro where he's walking up with the briefcase in the
Yeah.
full the full black and just
Oh,
like
that'd be cool. Yeah. Well,
so one day,
hey, don't give up on it.
yeah,
It might happen, you know?
one day I hope to do something with Slappy like that. But just
Well,
right
if you help
now,
me out with my movie, I'd help you out with yours. So
all right.
that'd be sick, man. Like, I think that's a really good idea. Like, for a prequel story, that works really
Yeah.
well. Like, obviously, we're siblings and like Stein in a top hat, like, because it's
Yeah.
obviously in the past a little bit. Like, yeah, I think that would work really well. I mean, I've always had ideas for the movies too. Like, oh, I think this would be a cool sequel. Like, Horrorland was meant to happen, but it didn't.
Yeah.
But I had this really cool idea for a sequel. And my idea was that so in the movie, obviously, they're all in manuscripts and the monsters come out. You probably already know this idea that I'm about to
The
tell you.
painting?
Yes.
Yes.
Like to me,
That's
that's a
sick.
sick plot. Like this time it's because apparently those paintings are all in like a what did Tim say again? He said they're not like destroyed or anything. Like they are all somewhere in like a warehouse. Like they are somewhere out there,
Cool.
like in a storage thing. Um, Mark Nagard has still got a lot of his paintings, which is cool. I wish I could get one of those, but I know getting one of Tim's original 60 that ain't happening. Could you imagine having the original Night of the Living Dummy like actual
That's
painting? That thing would be like worth 100. Like, how much money would that be worth? I would like to think, But
so much.
the idea of the movie is like, oh, obviously they were all coming out of manuscripts, but now, so you could have like one of the employees going through like the Scholastic headquarters, like, some basement thing that goes down, and it's like some security guy that's just doing his job. He's walking around with a flashlight, and then he points the flashlight down, and you see this ink, just like paint, just
Yeah.
drooping down, and he looks over and he sees like Slappy stepping out of the like so it's the painting, but then his face like comes out, and then his
Yeah.
body starts coming out, and then you see the mud monster. Could you imagine how cool it would look with the mud monster coming out with all the like
Yeah.
ooze, and then like, and then this is where I said you could have Curly in the movie because there's no book with Curly, but there's a hell of a lot of like tales to give you goosebumps.
Yeah.
There's the Fright Light edition. Like you could have one of the tales to give you goosebump covers or Fright Light edition ones, and you could have Curly coming out. And this time they have to track down Tim Jacobus, and he has to paint one big canvas with every
Yes.
monster on it in a time limit to trap them all. So the same concept. That's a concept for a
Yeah.
sequel. Like you got to he's typing the story with all the monsters to capture them. Now we have to paint them all with Slappy in the middle and like Curly and like Cuddles and like to me that would have just been such a cool like
Yeah.
idea for a sequel. Yours would be like the prequel,
Yeah.
and then we do a sequel, and that's the sequel. And then I would just be like, who's going to play Tim Jacobus? Let's just ask Tim. Can you just play you in the movie? Could you imagine like R.L. Stein playing R.L. Stein and like Tim
Yeah.
playing Tim in the movie? Like, oh man. But I think that'd be a really cool idea. I just picture it like the security, and then he like turns the flashlight over here, and then like the 100 paintings are all coming out at one time. Like he'd be like, oh my gosh, all the Goosebump monsters are coming out, the paintings.
And like what you could
Oh
do,
man.
what you could do with that is like I like the idea. Like this, I did like a creative writing thing for my English class once around Goosebumps. I like the idea
Mhm.
of Curly going around to different places in like a human disguise and like unleashing the monsters. Like I don't know if
Oh yeah.
like an actor like who I think could really do good at that. It'd be the hell to get him. But Jamie Kimmel Bower, he's got like that skeletal face,
Oh
and like when I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in Stranger Things, whenever I saw him in like his human look, I was like, I'm getting like a Curly for some reason.
Feel like a yeah. Oh, dude, that's a cool idea. He drives around like he like pulls up to a school and just says "boo, dude," and he just like unleashes all these monsters. goes to another location. He's just like, her eating is a scream. Like says all iconic quotes, like at the different like viewer beware, like or reader beware, like
I like
because he
just
clearly has his quotes, right? Like, and he
yeah.
could say them as he like unleashes monsters. Oh man, he's sick. And he's got his, and in the passenger seat, you've got the oh man, he's got, oh man, that would be so cool.
And just
Oh, and then like, yeah,
I love the like vision of in his human disguise, like he lifts up his face and he says something, and then like a mist just comes out, and the monsters just start popping
oh,
up.
and they just start popping up out of this like
Yeah,
greeny goosebump colored mist.
and
Yeah,
like
that'd
it
be so
covers an
cool.
area, and then like you look down, and it's just like vines everywhere. Or it's like a
Oh,
blue
stay out of
mist
the
comes
basement.
out, and you just hear the werewolf. It's just
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
man, these are
Curly
great
going
ideas.
around and just making chaos happen. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's a great idea for a movie, for a Goosebump movie.
yeah, I wish I love Haunted Halloween, but if they would have done like a proper like planned trilogy, like Slappy's the villain of one, Curly is two, and then they're working together in three, and in three is the humans coming into the book, specifically Horrorland, because I feel like that's got to be the big finale.
Yeah, they're being dragged into Horrorland, and then like the grand finale of the movie. Here's how I always picture the grand finale of the Horrorland if they did a movie. It's like, you know how they do like you walk the plank, like in
Yeah.
like a pirate movie, like you walk the plank and you. It would be like the horrors with Slappy standing and Curly being like, "Ooh, ride the doom slide, but beware, one of you will be sliding forever." So like you have like Zach, Hannah, Stein, like they're all standing at their different things, but one like they don't know which one is going to be the one riding forever. Like, like which one of us? And they're just like, step up, come on. Like, Slappy's just like making them like go down this
Yeah.
slide. But then I guess the way that like the movie would end so they don't actually go down the slide because that wouldn't happen because they can't die literally is like him and Curly maybe get into an argument or something and then they like shove each other down and they go
Yeah.
down the slide that slides forever, like that popped in my head for some reason. I was like, he's like, no, I want to be the one to push them down. No, I'm pushing you down the slide. And he's like, don't you get mad at me, you splinter. Like how he kind of said it, And then they get into a fight, and Zach Hanna and that are like, wait, what's going on? And then like
Yeah.
they just start like shoving each other, and then they both fall like, and then they go down the slide forever, And then like
Yeah.
they escape, and then like the end credit of the movie is just like Slappy and Curly just like going down the slide like this, like like, well, buddy, old pal, like
I'm
this
not
is the
talking
end.
to you.
Like he's like, I get to slide with you forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like that would have been a cool ending, like
Yeah.
to the movie. I don't know why, but I
Something
pictured that in my head.
something I really like from the 2023 show is like how they were trapped in the scrapbook, and like whenever things happened to the book in real life, it affected them. Like when they were falling through when it got wet. I really like them trying to escape from the book as it's being destroyed. Like
Yes, yeah, I like that too.
like
Yeah.
Slappy and Curly like trapped them in there. And it's like, well, I don't really need this book, but I'm in the need for some kindling. And they go out and they light it on fire. And it's like a
Yeah,
time. They have to get out or they're gone.
yeah, yeah. No, that's an awesome. Yeah, well, the I don't know if you knew about it, but there was a second draft of the script that was up on the internet for the longest time, but now it's gone. I had the link for it because I made a video about it, and I put the link in the description of the video, and everyone was like, "Oh wow, this is amazing!" So in like the original second draft, you had Cuddles, for instance,
Yeah.
and he was almost like Slappy's bodyguard.
Yeah.
Like Slappy would like, I remember like there was the scene at the police station where they're all like tied up, and Slappy's just like put his foot on like the police officer,
Yeah.
and like Cuddles is like just kind of hovering over them like a big wolf character, like and man, I'm like, that was such a cool scene. And he says, I think he says something like, "This is my town now." Like, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to remember exactly what it was, but I wish I just saved it somewhere on the computer so I could always read it.
Yeah.
But it's forever gone now because I could not find it. That second draft script is just, unless you go on like that, uh, where you can look up like old websites and
Oh, the
check the old,
Wayback?
yeah, unless you can do that, because I have the link still. So unless there's a way to like go way back and look at it, I'm sure that's probably a
I might
way,
have to
but it was
try
a
that.
cool script. Yeah, it was a cool
But
second draft script. And I remember
I
Slappy took the initiative of being in charge right at the beginning because like one of the body
oh yeah, the
squeezers
body
comes walking up
squeezer.
and like goes to shake his hand, but then he like blows up
Yeah.
and Slappy's just like, okay, like
Any
now that I have your
questions?
attention again. Any questions? Like, and they're like, oh no, 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 no. Like, you're in charge. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember they did that to show why he was like in charge, you know? And oh man, I wish they kept that in the movie. That would have been cool. But,
Yeah.
oh well.
Like even like you could for the idea of the third, if you what if they wanted to have it be the beginning, the middle, and the twist could be they think it's a happy ending, and then it fades out, and then it's Slappy's hands around the book, and you just hear him laugh.
Oh, it's like he's trapped. They're trapped. Yeah, like
Yeah,
they think it's a happy ending, but it's just, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
just
that's
in
a cool
another
idea.
book.
There's so many things I could do, but yeah, I just don't know if we're going to see anything for a while. So that's why I'm like, well, I'll
Yeah,
make my own movie then.
yeah. That's
I'll make
that's
my
why
own.
that's why it's like Thanos, where he's like, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
Yeah, that's why I'm like stuff and I'm doing it myself. Like I've always wanted to see the original book done. It's never been done, so I'm like, stuff it. I'm doing it. I'm just gonna make it myself then, so I can
Yeah.
enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, 100%.
So let's see. Oh, um, I talked to Avery about this, but Slappy's list of powers is just like if you look at the Goosebumps wiki, it's like this long. I think
Hmm.
it's got to a point.
He can just do anything now.
He
Let's
can
face it.
he
Like
can do whatever he
Slappy's
wants.
just got this endless supply of, yeah, like he can just do anything. And they'll probably keep adding more. But
Yeah,
I wonder if we're gonna get any more books with Slappy. Like
yeah,
Stein's 83 this year, I think.
yeah,
And I'm like, I wonder if we're gonna get any more books with Slappy, or he's just kind of like, oh, well, Slappy World was the end of that. Now we're done, with the House of Shivers. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting. I could add a power in my movie, a unique power.
yeah.
He can, hmm,
He can do a
I'm
hundred
trying to think what's
voices.
something. He can do 100 voices. Yeah, he can like read. He can read their minds or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like he can, some new power. I don't know. I'm trying to think. He can shoot web. He's Spider Man. Slappy is now Spider Man's powers.
After all the credits, it's a post credit scene. It's Slappy's like face turned green, edited onto the Hulk,
Oh my gosh.
smashing through the city.
Hey, you know what? Like at this point, I'm kind of just like, yeah, who knows what we could do.
Well, all right, man. I think that's that.
That's that. Oh, oh, this was fun.
Yeah, this was real fun.
Yeah. Oh, just perfect timing too, because I've got to get ready to head to work soon. So I was like, this is actually perfect timing.
All right.
Just shoot the scene where they're just walking in, like all covered in, yeah.
Oh
But then
yeah.
again, we can always create that. But yeah, man, no, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me on, and yeah, we'll definitely do this again, and I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing all the other episodes in the future. Yeah, just follow Night of the Living Dummy fan film. Keep on, yeah, keep checking up, for updates every day. There's pretty much been something new. I don't think there was actually anything today. I kid. Every week there'll be something new. Um, and yeah, we
Sometimes I
start
feel like
shooting
it.
in just over 2 months. Yeah, oh, for sure. Just over 2 months away when we start filming. So yeah, no, it's crazy. You know, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. I can't wait.